are some truths that Africans who have not been to Europe need to know about Europe. Number one, Europe has no borders. While European countries came together under the Berlin Conference to split Africa into colonies with strict borders, their own borders have stayed wide open to each other. Number two, tourism is one of the best generators for economic revenue, and at the expense of Africa, Europe is still up to date, accumulating huge chunks of revenues from copied plastic pyramids, display of African art in museums, astrological buildings and walls. And while Europe doesn't have so much to offer as far as natural tourism is concerned, they have successfully used mainstream media to lure people into their airports daily because they know that it is where energy goes that grows. Number three, it is the rich people in Europe that eat fresh farm food like the poor people in Africa, while it is the poor people in Europe that eat junk food like the rich people in Africa. In Africa, it is mostly the rich that deal with issues obesity, while in Europe, it is mostly the poor that deal with issues obesity. At number five, in Europe, they live by the slogan of pay as you live because they have no ancestral lands. Average people have to work 2 to 3 jobs just to be able to afford the bare minimum. If you can't pay to live, unlike in Africa, in Europe you have no ancestral land to go back to. Therefore, homelessness in Europe is like the order of the day. Number six, without electricity, unlike Africa, Europe can't survive. Last but not least, our ancestors believed that hell is cold and that you freeze to death in hell. The European winter encourages vasoconstriction to a black person. That is brain fog that causes depression. But the saddest news was learning about the heat wave caused by most streets being majorly concrete. So during summer, the concrete absorbs so much heat that people fall dead on the streets. A lot of Africans who have not been to Europe think that them making it to Europe will mean them making it in life. But you are in for a rude shock. Because the American dream, the European dream, is only but an illusion that most Africans who are abroad don't want to tell you the truth about. A lot of rich Africans leave being rich in Africa to go be poor in Europe. I beg, if you know what's best for you, stay in the Garden of Eden.